Well, hello, kindred spirits. We're outside. The bugs are outside. The sun is not out, but it's trying. And I wanted to show you what I think are petroglyphs that I found on our property. And I do have an email out to somebody to see who do I contact to confirm, but I really do think I found something, and I'm always looking. I'm always looking for something different. And that's one thing about looking at the small things and the details. You never know what you might find. Let me show you what I think might be petroglyphs, and you can let me know your thoughts. Now, being a woman with ADHD who easily gets distracted, I have trouble focusing and staying on one task in one area. I created this little system for myself by putting a box around myself, literally putting myself in a box, and I really loved this technique. Let me show you what I did. Once again, I gotta get myself into my square. Let me show you what I've got going here. I would have started at the beginning of the wall, but there's still some cutting of the fallen oak limbs, and I'm not gonna start with that right now. I am making a square, and right now I'm making them about 10 by 10, just to see if I can get myself to stay within it. Let me zoom out here again. I'm gonna do this to myself to see if I can stay focused. The goal is to clean all along this wall, all the way down. Gonna trim a lot of the volunteers, the trees that have just planted themselves, and trees that have started to shoot up some other stems. And then we have some fallen logs. I'm not going to touch those yet. I want to make sure that they're not being used for honeybees to be in, because when we had that really warm day, I did see a couple honeybees there. It doesn't mean that's where they are living. I just want to make sure. But I do have a lot of old birch. This must have fallen down years before we moved in. So I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to clean some of the low-lying branches so that we can see through. And then once that wall is all cleaned up all the way down, then I'm going to start cleaning up a lot of the really broken down fallen debris so that we can look into the woods and enjoy the view and watch for wildlife and the whole works. I have to go sharpen my clippers. Much better, and even though this is out of my square, it's in my way. These were just way too heavy for me, but I am so pleased with what I've gotten done, and I'm excited. Even on this knoll, I'm gonna cut the grass a little bit, and then I'm gonna plant some striped squill. I'm going to plant snowdrops all along here and finally get some of the early spring flowers that I've been craving here. This is the perfect spot for them. I'll even be able to put more of the white bleeding hearts, because I now know, and I can tell because there's some half rings of stones up here, that there were gardens along this wall at one point. So I'm excited to see what this looks like cleaned up. Yes, now I can see more mess off in the distance, but once I clean up this wall, I'll go on to the other side and just pick up a lot of the fallen dead debris, which I've been doing all along anyways. But anything inside this wall, I am going to make it hopefully cleaner and more visual pleasing to my eye, and try to keep up with this. This will be, I think, a lot easier now that I'm getting this done. Well, I'm back at it, and I have a lot of leaves to clean up. I have been raking them and blowing them from away from the wall, but I'm just asking them to hook me up with the gas-powered leaf blower to carry around on my back, because I keep going through batteries constantly. I hear it going, but I'm getting so much done. And I even found a flower I have never seen before, just because of cleaning. I also found a lot of poison ivy I have to clean up. But even along this wall, this has a garden here. There's all kinds of daffodils. And let's see, where did it go? It was right here. Oh, right here. I've never seen one of these before. We got little bees that are out. But there's quite a bit of daffodils that I have to replant. But I'm so excited that this area is starting to get cleaned. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. It's been leaf covered since we moved here. This thing is heavy too. I remember using it in Groton. I don't think I've used it since. Probably should have got my second wind before starting it. Well, I'm not going to know how long I've been out here until I look at these two pieces of video and see the timestamps, because right now I know I've been go, go, go. And I took the backpack off myself. I actually put it on the back of the Gator to get it off. Ben gave me that idea, which was great because he had to run an errand. I feel like I'm floating right now. It's the funniest thing, but I got so much done. So I went out of my boxes that I made because I realized I couldn't rake through a lot of the leaves because there were a lot of sticks down here. But I've got so much done. So much done. I am thrilled. Now I'll be cutting some of the volunteers, these little trees that decided to help themselves to grow, and some of these pines that seeded themselves. I'm trying to let the oaks and the maples take over on the inside of the yard. Whatever happens on the outside of the stone wall can happen. But I'm thrilled. I've got a couple more days of cleanup, and then over there, I might have a little pile. Just a little. That's not including the stuff that Ben cut today. We've done so much inside of the house the past couple years. Now it's time for the outside, and we are having fun. Now, since editing this video, I got back some information. Now, I did reach out to one person who is an archaeologist, and he does focus on Native Americans. And he said it was hard to tell from the photo, but he's guessing it might be natural what you're seeing, but not sure. And then I did have another person reach out and said that they'd like to come and see them. So fingers crossed that we have something here, but keep in mind, I can fully believe that this is also just some work of the glaciers, but we'll find out. Now, it's hard to see, but it almost looks like there is a star pattern on this rock. I'm looking forward to maybe hopefully pushing it back and upright just a bit more to get a glimpse. We do have a stone here by the front of the house that says Chloe on it that somebody carved, and it's actually, we found out, was for their cat Chloe, and it was probably like within the 20 or 30 years, but I don't know about this one. I noticed it when I was cleaning. Now in this clip, I did get to push the stone back a little bit, and I actually washed it down with water, and now I'm seeing it differently. It almost looks like there's a wider body. Do you see the two legs there? Once again, vivid imagination. But I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and no matter what anybody says, I still think this rock is cool. And a couple days later, just 4 stones over, maybe 3, I also found the markings in this stone. There's a couple of them, and I also wet this one down, but at first I saw just the pattern that looks like 2 wings to me, and then above it, I'm going to say looks like another bird flying overhead. But then I wet it down and I saw even more detail. I'm going to see if I can find a photo of that. Once again, it could be just that wonderful thing that happens when you look at something and you see something else, but I'm still going to place these stones so I can see them and enjoy them. Squaring off a box and telling myself to stay in it, even though I got distracted, I would actually reach out with the rake to go into some other areas. I let that one slide. But it really helped me stay focused on one area. I didn't leave it until it was raked. All the sticks were picked up and trees were trimmed. I'm going to be doing this later. And I really like this idea, to the point that Ben did too, and he says, why don't you square off some parts of the house inside? Because, oh my gosh, I will start cleaning something and then I'll go to another project. I think many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. We just do that. Okay, you might hear a lot of panting. It's not me, it's my sidekick Willow. We were just busy putting more sticks onto the wood pile, and I promised her a ride in the woods, so that's what we're gonna do right now. And it is way too buggy out there with mayflies, so in the cart we are. And I'm actually gonna turn on the air. Let's see here, because she's so hot. All right, let's go for a ride. Be going into my favorite spot. Now, some of you may remember the little up close and personal visit with the deer who was checking out our cameras. I named her Daphne. This is an area that they like to come and visit. We've been doing some cleanup here, but there's quite a bit more to go. And unfortunately, we have to go around this now. I'm also going to insert a video here. Ooh, this is so tight. I'm going to be making some other paths because I do love coming out here with the Gator, but some of these turns are just a little too tight for me. I'm going to show you a little snippet of a coyote. Very healthy, beautiful fur. It almost looks like it has blue eyes, if that's possible. And then some raccoons. Now in a moment you're going to hear the raccoon chewing. It's so cute. And then some deer, but we're trying to wait to see if we can get our bobcat and some bears. try to come out and videotape this a little bit later, but one thing I love about plants, and these peonies are definitely showing it, all throughout the day, they will completely turn into the location of the sun. So a little bit later, they'll be straight up and down, and then they'll be pointing to the west once the sun starts to set. And once the sun sets, they'll be straight again. I'm going to guess the ones on the other side are doing the same. Let's take a peek. Oh, yes, they are. Look at how drastic that these are pointing towards the southern sun. Guys, just last week, these were not here. Look at, I'm so excited. And we've got butterflies for the first time today. And like I said, a little bit later, they'll be reaching the other direction. So many plants since last week. I'm excited. These bugs are ridiculous. Oh, didn't realize these are starting. Oh boy, I'm happy. Doesn't take much. Now, next week, the lawn gets cut, and we're gonna be doing a lot more. Yep, awesome. And I have plants in the shed. I haven't even, maybe I should go look at those. Do you remember last year I put some of my zombies back in the shed in the wheelbarrow just to see if I can get them planted? And for those of you who are new here, I call plants zombies that look dead, but really have some life left to them. And they usually come back the next year. And I have a really bad habit of buying plants and never getting them planted, which is what these are. I think it's a majority of lavender and then also the clematis. Look at, oh, yep, here they are. Look at the climbing clematis is doing great. Oh, this is fun. So these are going to be ready. I'm going to reel this outside and let them get some fresh air. And then even the rosemary is getting green. So this is great. This worked kind of like its own little greenhouse. So you know what? Do I want to bring these out here? I don't know yet. I got to do it soon. Well, it looks like it's going to rain. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Is this? Oh, I can't open this. Oops, just can't open it because I just have to push. Okay. Don't want to forget my gloves. Trying to do this with one hand. Don't ask me why. I'm doing this for you people. Oh, here we go. Oops, sorry, Will. Oh boy. Here we go. I think my tires feel like they're a little low. All right. Well, this is, see, now I called this a zombie. Last year they were dead, and now they have some life to them. This is great. Very happy. All right, so now to figure out where they're finally going to go. And I think this year I might put these where the garden gate was. Last year I didn't want to do it because it said they only went to 5 feet, and I wanted it to go up and over because that's how OCD I am. But I might give them a chance here. I think if there's anything else I want to bring out. I think that's it for now. I mean, it's kind of a mess here, but no critters got in through the winter, which is nice. I think I mentioned it earlier. It's getting re-roofed soon. The contractor is just waiting for 3 good days to do the project. He did ask if he could come in and strip it one day and then wait for another day and then, you know, keep working on it. And we're like, we would prefer to have it done in just a row. So that's what we're doing. Just waiting for him to find 3 to 4 days. We're gonna have some of the front fixed, and then Ben and I are gonna go around and put some, I don't know if it's the board or the batten over these openings, and then we'll paint the barn again and be done with the Sugarshack. It'll be nice to see it get a little makeover, bring it back to its glory. We need to also go around and dig all around this foundation. If I'm repeating myself, I apologize. I never know what I'm saying. So we're going to be doing that. I still have to clean that area. I do have our landscaper coming a little bit later today to discuss some things they can help me with this year. Last year I waved the white flag and got some help, and this year I'm going to welcomely accept it again. It might be doing some edging, it might be helping with weeding. I'm going to get some bark mulch and pea stone delivered, but I'm tempted to rent myself a little tractor that has a bucket and a scoop. Are those two different things? You know, it's one on each end. I'm drawing a blank on the name of those. And that way I can do a lot of the work myself. But I just want to get these cleaned up and get them ready for said bark mulch. And then get the areas that we have pea stone, such as the back of the house. Let me walk over there with you. I think I have some other zombies over here. Oh, look, and they came back too. Now these were left outside all winter in these pots, and the white phlox is coming back. I don't think some of them are going to. Those will get to go in the compost. But something here is coming back, and it looks like maybe the blue thistle, the globe thistle might be. But I have weeds here I got to take care of. Add some more pea stone here, but let me show you the main area that I want to add some more pea stone. It's going to be in this little back courtyard area here. I'm gonna pour some vinegar, but it's like, where does the pea stone go? I mean, the previous owner had some tarping here, so it didn't go down into the ground. If it got washed downhill, possibly. So this is all gonna get done. Here are the bushes that I trimmed way back last year. As I mentioned and knew, they're growing and filling back in. The inkberry over here. I don't know why I can't get this to come in fuller and thicker. Every time I trim it, it still gets long legs and bends over. So that needs another trim. And we still need to rebuild these walls that came down in the winter. I might, if I get that backhoe here, my little mini backhoe, I might try to use that on this if I get close enough without getting near the boxwood that is covered with little bees. Or these hovering flies, I don't know which. And then this area will also get bark mulch. Did not get to that last year. Yeah, it's so nice being outside. Want to clean up this section. Once again, no idea what this circle of stones is, but if I get that backhoe in here, I'll be able to get these out that are in the middle. I think they just fell inward. Put them on the side and definitely metal detect. And then if there's nothing, I might fill this area with soil and do another garden. Right now it just has some overgrowth of ferns. No other purpose. In the wall that I cleared, there's like a retaining wall all along here. You can kind of see the line of fern that got recovered. I do want to get this all cleared up so I can get to the blueberries easily. But the sun just came out. It was gloomy earlier. It's beautiful. I don't know if you hear the bird more or Willow's panting more. I think it's time to go in and give her some lunch. Okay, so I'm back over here. The rain is starting, but you can see the peonies are starting to go straight up because the sun has disappeared and they have no sun to actually go towards. Once again, let's go over here and look. Aren't plants amazing? I love it. And I think that's why so many of us like to go out in the sun and get some vitamin D. We need it. The plants know it. We know it. Got to do it. Take advantage of it. I cannot wait till this lawn gets cut next week, but we'll go for another week. It's getting a little long, but that's okay. The gardens are really starting to pop.
Well, kindred spirits, that's it for today, and I want to thank you for visiting. If this is your first visit, I would love to ask you to subscribe and join us and hit that like button. And in closing, I'm just showing a few things that I've added to the store with our fine living boxes. And if you're looking for a gift or something special, check out our shop. Bye now.